Welcome to HF Family Adventures. We are going to be talking about the five that I wish I knew before I began RVing full-time. And I'm going to try to keep this video short and tell you what I wish I knew and how to deal with it. Because just knowing things you didn't know may persuade you, may not, but the big thing is everything is overcomable. It's not really a word I like, overcomable. I have to find a different, better word. But the bottom line is there are 5 things that I just didn't know. So here they are. Number 1, brand new RVs and their warranties. If you plan on moving quickly, RV warranties are pretty much garbage. Not because they don't cover things, but how the RV warranty process works. When your RV has a warranty issue, you have to send it to the dealer. Then it takes the dealer 1 to 2 days to figure out what's wrong with it, and then they submit for approvals to the RV company. Then the RV company spends another 5 days to get approvals back. So you are not inside your unit for about 7 days before the warranty work even begins. Now this process gets exasperated the fact that if it's, let's say it's wintertime, and you take your RV into the dealer, and then everything freezes while they have it because you didn't winterize it because you're supposed to be in your unit. Yep, that happened to us. Now, there's a way to solve this. So when you have a warranty issue with your unit, there's a simple process you do. Process number 1, you contact the manufacturer directly and you tell them what the problem is. 90% of the time, they will send you that part. Now, if you're like us and you move every single week, that's very, very difficult. A lot of people that RV full-time will at least be in locations for 3 weeks, so they'll be able to plan ahead a little bit. So you have to keep that in mind. For example, we're about to hit Florida. We're gonna be in Florida for about 4 weeks, so we'll have an address that we can actually send it to our next address that receives packages and simply let them know that, hey, this package may arrive before we get there. So you have to keep those kinds of things in mind. When dealing with warranty work, contact the manufacturer first, get the approvals first, then you can start talking to the actual dealer, say, hey, I want to bring this in and do work. A lot of times, if you already have the parts were shipped to you, and you can bring it into a dealer, they can usually have you out in 24 to 48 hours. But you have to do the legwork. And extended warranties, and hotel stays, and all the stuff that those things do, garbage, don't worry about it, you're out of luck. So that's number 1. Number 2, you have to be flexible. Now here's the thing. If you want to plan very far ahead and start booking things, it's easy. You can easily set your route. However, you're mobile, so things will come up. Like for us, we were supposed to be heading up the West Coast right now, heading on our way to, well, California until it gets a little warmer, and then go up to Oregon. Instead, we found out that our exchange student that we've missed since COVID because they haven't been able to come back and visit for 2 years is going to be in Florida, and so we redirected. We're going to a different direction now, and that way we can be there when he's going to be there. So by being flexible, we canceled our stays. We're plenty of time out. We're able to redirect. In addition, RV parks may not be close to where you want to be, so you may have to be a little bit further out. Now for us, we're super flexible. We've actually planned those issues and we're able to actually push ourselves beyond and further out than what you would normally see. I wish I would have had someone tell me you need to plan in flexibility and allow yourself to be further away. So now, an hour and a half is about the average drive that we're willing to go for a day trip. And we do a lot of day trips. 3, internet's an issue, but there's always a solution. Sometimes you're not going to be able to work from your unit. It's just the way that it is. If you rely on internet and you have to have an internet connection, there are some RV parks that are just not going to have the connection you're looking for. Even with boosters, even with satellite, you're just not going to have the service you're looking for. That's something that is going to happen, so be ready for it because it's there. Now, with that being said, run multiple carriers. The one thing that I can tell you is run Verizon, run T-Mobile, stay away from Sprint, and AT&T is a distant fourth, distant third, depending on how you look at it. There's a lot of available options out there, and if you have a local address you can tie one of the T-Mobile home internets to, it works wonderfully. We get about 100 to 200 megs downstream on that T-Mobile home internet, but we do have to have good connection. Verizon's doesn't quite work as well. And internet is always changing. Sometimes you'll have it in certain locations. However, if you're willing to drive and you're willing to go and work somewhere, you're always able to get somewhere that has internet. You just have to be flexible with your work environment. My office has become the truck, even though I have an office in the RV. So keep that in mind. Number 4, sound is an issue. It doesn't matter how far away the kids are, or how good your office development sign is, or how good you've developed your office. sound is a problem. I was pretty sure that I was going to be able to make it so they couldn't hear my family. That's not the case. In fact, you can hear everything outside your RV. If you're in some tight spots, you can hear the person next to you having a normal conversation. So just be aware that sound is going to be an issue. If you need a quiet space to work at all periods of time, then you're going to be looking at boondocking situations where nobody's around you, because there are some RVs that have better insulation than others, but it's still going to be problematic. The doors are thin, there's gaps in the spacing, the windows aren't dual pane in most cases, and the sound just comes right in your unit. And there's an unwritten rule that apparently RVs have to be within sounding distance of a train track. I don't know where that rule came from or why it exists, but RV parks are always near train tracks. Even now, I heard last night the distant rumblings of a train, and that still means it's fairly close. And we are in the middle of nowhere right now, which I do love. And number 5, being in an RV is not cheaper. It's not better, it's simply different. For some people, being in an RV and traveling a lot is a better experience. For my family and for me, we love this life and wouldn't trade it for the world. But I wish someone would have told me that there's just as much to do in an RV that there is in a house. Yes, I don't have a lawn to mow, but who knows when the next window screw is going to fall out, then I have to spend time replacing that. Or when my sewer line is going to rip and I'm going to have to spend 15 minutes doing sewer. Or the fact that I do have to flush sewer on a regular basis. It's not just going out and pulling the things, but you got to flush your tanks. Now, there's a lot of shortcuts you can take, but why do that when you can actually do things right? In the end, it's no longer cheaper, and it's not necessarily less work, it's simply different work. For me, it's more hands-on, I spend more time outside, and I spend more time with my family because it's closer. But I wish someone would have let me know it's definitely not cheaper, and it's definitely not less work. I enjoy it more, and I guess that's what's most important. So guys, those are our 5 things that I wish somebody would have told us, and if you're thinking about RV, let those things sink in. If you see this video, help us grow the channel. Like, subscribe, tag a friend that's thinking about going full-time in RV, and do me a favor. I really want to see comments if you see this video, because right now we got like 5 subscribers, so go you. I want to see comments about what's the one thing you want to know about full-timing in RV, or one thing you wish somebody would have told you. And then we'll take those, we'll throw together another video, we'll answer some questions, or hopefully the people in the comments can answer them as well. But anyway, welcome to the family, and we'll see you next time.